Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, I would like my viewers to continue praying for my art career by singing along with me, gesturing at your screens, and hitting the dislike button. I have a few big projects on the way. Uh, there's going to be a new Lego store in Tempe, Arizona, bricks and minifigures, and I cannot wait to go there to dig through the Lego pieces. They buy and sell a lot of used Legos. I hope to put together my favorite painting, the Mondrian Victory. It's about 50 inches by 50 inches in real size. One of my favorite paintings. This year marks 80 years since we won the war, and I have an idea of how to make it three-dimensional. But obviously, the Lego pieces can be difficult to source. I can't wait to actually hang that somewhere and generate a lot of conversation. Another inspiration of mine was the recent government shutdown. I had sworn that if the government shut down, I wanted to visit Yosemite again because it was really nice to hang out at night. Nobody to kick me out, looking at the stars. One thing that bothered me is that when it was closed, a lot of people lost some common decency. I mean, is it that hard for people to pick up after themselves and take their trash out of the park? I mean, they drove there presumably with a pretty sizable vehicle, right? How much trash can you really generate in 1 or 2 or 3 days? Or why don't you just drive your trash out of there, right? One of my favorite parts of Yosemite is the big waterfall. I have an idea of how to make a zinc piece, molten zinc in water of that waterfall. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to travel there this year. There isn't that much in terms of stargazing events at this time anyway. At the time, it was fun because Jupiter and Saturn were coming close into conjunction. We were still 2 years away from real conjunction, but they were getting pretty close at the time. I want to point out why the recent surge in my art activities. I had a difficult situation at work, and to understand why, I have some chronic health conditions. And when I started the job, I was internally debating with myself, should I upfront tell my work that I have these conditions, food allergies and autistic tendencies, or should I just keep them to myself until I need to tell? I decided to go with the latter strategy, and for a few days, for a few weeks, it seemed like I'll never have to tell anybody. This is going too well. Our owner is introverted as well. I don't know if she's autistic, but introverted for sure. And so are a lot of the students. And so I thought I never had to tell anybody. Well, unfortunately, last Tuesday, one of my students, 10, 11-year-old girl, came in with hands full of Cheetos all over her fingers, and I react badly to that eczema kind of reactions. I don't want to be having a reaction away from home because I still have to drive home just for my own safety. If she were at my home doing that, I might be more inclined to throw a little caution to the wind because I'm home. My medicine's all there. I can take rest there. But having a reaction in the office is a whole different animal, right? Uh, so I backed away from her and I had to apologize. This is a moment of truth. I got to tell about my allergies, and my heart raced out of control as I was telling both the student and the boss who overheard me. Because the last time I did this, I got written up. I was working at another tutoring center in Seattle, Washington, and my boss literally wrote that I had some poor customer service because I commented on our students' choice of food. And so, in retrospect, I shouldn't have just blankly signed the write up, right? Because I looked at the write up sheet and there was like warning one, warning two, warning three. I thought, well, I got three chances. Chances are next time, now that the student knows about it, I'm not going to be working there forever anyway. So I signed it with the idea that, I was unlucky, right? It's kind of like if you have bad luck happen to you, it probably won't happen again. You don't curse about it, right? You move on, right? I was thinking in that. I learned the hard way that even if your work gives you 3 warnings like that, they really don't. By the time you get your first warning, you've already kind of been quietly fired. And the reason for that is that it colors everything forward, right? If you can get written up one time, the next time something happens that could go either way, it's automatically your fault, right? So if that write up is unfair or unclear or incomplete, you need to correct the record, right? I've learned that the hard way. Don't treat I give you 3 warnings as really 3 warnings. It's really I give you 1 warning and then I document 2 more times before I kick you out, right? It's really that, right? Just a heads up, my own experience. And so a lot of trauma when I had the situation last Tuesday. Actually, the boss apologized to me at the end of the day and said she'll talk to the student. I didn't even ask her to restrict the students. I just said that why don't you go after you finish your food? Would you mind washing your hands? I have allergies. And the student was very understanding. Oh, I didn't realize that. And she went to wash her hands, and my boss saw all this. And later on, as I was leaving, hey, I'm sorry for what happened with the student. I'll talk to her about the food in here. And so I still had a lot of trauma, even though my boss apologized to me. Just very traumatic. You're just returning from post-pandemic, and then this, especially for something that's out of your control, right? If I went to work unsure about how to tutor something, it's a tutoring center. I was clueless on how to tutor something. Yeah, I deserve to be written up, right? But it's something out of the work scope and out of my control. Another art piece I hope to do coming up to Mary Curry's birthday. She turns 158. But for her 160th birthday, I want to pour a large bust of Mary Curry out of a material that is now used to make her famed discovery. It wasn't how she discovered it, but close enough. I make a big one, at least a 1/4 ton to 1/2 ton size. Big, like, how some people put these sapphire geodes at their front door. They cost like tens of thousands of dollars, right? That kind of size. With crystals on the back, anodized to rainbow color. That just to generate a little bit of a conversation piece, right? All right, some big projects coming up. Hopefully, I will overthrow the tariffs before I do that Mary Curry piece. Otherwise, it could get a little bit expensive, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.